Hello everybody, this is Llodg, and with The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom releasing soon, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite Zelda games of all time, A Link Between Worlds. A Link Between Worlds released on the 3DS all the way back in 2013, and it even released the same day as Mario 3D World. This game was made as a sort of spiritual sequel to A Link to the Past, and it's very similar from its base mechanics and story. However, there were many things in A Link Between Worlds that make it really unique and honestly really special to me. I got the game when it originally released, but for one reason or another, I hadn't beaten it for a long time. I was pretty bad about finishing games back then. But with Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition coming out on the Switch, with so much content from many different Zelda games, I wanted to play through all the Zelda games I hadn't played through yet. And A Link Between Worlds was the one I really wanted to see the end of. And when playing it, I loved it so much. Going through and exploring the world was so fun to do, and it ended up being my favorite 2D Zelda game. The big gimmick in this game is allowing Link to turn into a painting on the wall with a magic bracelet. That just happens to smell like a wet dog. This allows for the dungeons to be designed in such an interesting way that can't be done in any other Zelda game. It's also thematic as all the stages in this game aren't trapped in crystals, they are trapped in paintings, which honestly sounds much more terrifying. Yuga is the one who trapped the sages and is the villain for this game, and when I first played this game years ago, I 100% thought Yuga was a woman. And I honestly feel like it would have been much cooler if he was a woman. I mean, are there any main Zelda villains who are women? Like, the only ones I can think of are the twin witch sisters, Kotake and Kume in Ocarina of Time, but they are more like secondary villains to Ganondorf. At least they looked cool as Twin Rova. But anyway, despite Yuga being a guy, he was still a cool villain in this game. Yuga went around finding the 7 sages and trapping them all in paintings, which had really cool designs. The wall painting ability also allows Link to go into a mirror world of Hyrule, Lorule. This is basically the Dark World from Link to the Past, but I like it more since it's not just the regular world to explore but dark. It being Lorule is a more interesting concept to me, though for all intents and purposes, there isn't much difference between the Dark World and Lorule. Though I would love to see Lorule come back in a future game as its main setting. The second big gimmick of this game that makes it more unique from other Zelda games is that instead of finding items within the dungeons that allow you to complete them, you have to rent them from Ravio. So from the start, you're able to choose which items you want and rent them to go out into Hyrule to use them. This allows you to go out into any of the dungeons that you want whenever you want. All you need is the correct item to complete the dungeon. I think this allows for flexibility in what you want to do, especially for repeat playthroughs. Replaying Zelda games can be kind of repetitive, since most of the dungeons need to be done in a specific order, so Link Between Worlds has its edge above most other Zelda games. I mean, Link to the Past even has numbers on its map, so you know which order you should do them in. Link Between Worlds gives you so many more options from the get-go. The downside to renting these items though is that when you get a game over, Shiro will come to take back all the items, so you have to pay up and rent them again. So if you're really good at the game, you'll only need to pay a one-time fee. Eventually you are given the option to buy these weapons to own them, which feels really great to finally be secured with your items. This game also has my favorite Zelda design. She looks so good in the game, and she looks so good that it's her design in Smash Ultimate. Honestly, most of the designs just look really good in this game. Ravia looks cool, the Zoras look cool, and it also has a character I wish we would see more of, being Princess Hilda. Her design is also really good. Honestly, for it being a fairly early 3DS game, the game looks very good. The art direction and everything really complements this game well. It also feels like what A Link to the Past would be if it was originally made in 3D. The music and sound effects are really good, though you can expect that in pretty much any Zelda game. But my favorite track in this game, and maybe in all of Zelda, is Yuga's theme. I love songs that have some sort of chanting in them, and Yuga's theme is just chanting all for Yuga. I really wish we'd get another version of it, or just another song in Zelda that's like it. I also really enjoyed the ending, and I'd love to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil anything too big in this video, so if you can, I highly recommend you play this game for yourself. Honestly, I wish this game could get a port on the Switch. This game is so good, and now that the 3DS doesn't even have the eShop anymore, it's going to be hard for newcomers to play this game for themselves. And if it got re-released on the Switch, it'd probably look really good to see this game on the big screen. Though we now seem to be sticking with the Link's Awakening remake art style, which isn't bad, but I do prefer what we saw in Link Between Worlds. Let me know what you think about A Link Between Worlds, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day, and goodbye.